The Chronarium's echo. Dr. Alistair Fairbanks adjusted his spectacles, the flickering gaslight of his laboratory casting elongated shadows across the complex apparatus dominating the room. It wasn't a particularly glamorous laboratory, tucked away in a forgotten corner of the Royal Society's London headquarters, but it was his, and within its cluttered space resided the culmination of his life's work at the Chronarium, a device designed to capture and replay echoes of past events. Not perfect time travel, not exactly, but a window into moments gone by. The temporal displacement matrix is stabilizing, Doctor. His assistant, Miss Croft, announced, her voice a precise counterpoint to the hum of the Chronarium's intricate gears. Elena was a marvel, a brilliant young physicist who possessed an uncanny ability to translate Alistair's theoretical ramblings into tangible reality. Excellent, Elena. Initiate sequence Alpha 7, Alistair instructed, his gaze fixed on the swirling vortex of energy contained within the Chronarium's central chamber. The machine shuddered, the air thickening with the scent of ozone and something indefinably ancient. Their target was ambitious: to observe the events surrounding the Tunguska Event of 1908, the mysterious explosion that flattened a vast swath of Siberian forest. Conventional science offered scant explanations. Alistair believed the Chronarium would reveal the truth. The swirling vortex intensified, resolving into a hazy image. They were in Siberia at 1908. The scene was pastoral, the lush forest teeming with wildlife. Then, a blinding flash. A colossal wave of heat radiated outwards, knocking Alistair and Elena from their observation point. Doctor, the temporal feedback is fluctuating wildly, Elena cried, struggling to maintain the Chronarium's law on the event. Alistair, momentarily disoriented, caught a glimpse of something extraordinary amidst the chaos. It wasn't a meteor, as YV assumed. It was a construct, metallic and undeniably artificial, plummeting from the sky, and etched upon its surface were symbols Alistair recognized from obscure pre-Columbian texts. Elena, record those symbols. They're Olmec. What could Olmec technology be doing in Siberia, centuries before its purported demise? He barked the question, urgency lacing his tone. Suddenly, the scene shifted, blurring into a sequence of disjointed images. A Victorian laboratory, eerily similar to his own, but older, more primitive. A man in a frock coat, bearing an unsettling resemblance to Alistair, hunched over a device resembling a miniature Chronarium. The images flickered, distorted by temporal interference. Doctor, I'm losing the signal. The temporal anchor is breaking down, Elena shouted, her fingers flying across the control panel. Alistair, mesmerized by the fragmented vision, felt the strange resonance within his own mind. It was a feeling of recognition, as if he were seeing echoes of his own past, reflected across the vast expanse of time. The image of the man in the frock coat sharpened for a brief, terrifying moment. He saw the man's eyes, filled with an almost manic intensity, lock onto the camera. Then, darkness. The Chronarium sputtered and died, plunging the laboratory into silence. What was that? Elena stammered, her face pale. Alistair stared at the deactivated machine, his mind reeling. I don't know, but I have a terrible feeling we've just opened a door we shouldn't have. He noticed a faint shimmer on his hand, a residue of temporal energy. Etched within the shimmer he saw a single symbol, identical to those found on the alien construct and Olmec glyph representing cyclical return. Weeks later, Alistair received a mysterious package. It contained a single object, a small, intricately carved wooden box, adorned with Olmec symbols. He recognized the craftsmanship. It was identical to a style documented in ancient Mesoamerican artifacts. Inside the box was a single sheet of parchment, covered in elegant, almost archaic script. Elena, a skilled linguist, began to decipher the text. Doctor, this is extraordinary. It's a series of equations, temporal equations. They describe how to stabilize the Chronarium's feedback loop, but they're also a warning. A warning? Alistair prompted, his voice tight with apprehension. They claimed the Tunguska Event wasn't a natural occurrence. It was an experiment, a temporal probe sent from a civilization far beyond our understanding, and it's been waiting for someone to reopen the connection. Suddenly, the lights in the laboratory flickered violently. A gust of wind slammed against the windows, despite the stillness of the night, and in the corner of the room, a faint shimmering began to materialize. Doctor, Elena gasped, pointing at the anomaly. Temporal distortion. It's escalating. Alistair recognized the distortion. It wasn't a chaotic burst of energy. It was focused, as if something was deliberately forcing its way through the veil of time. From the shimmering void, a figure began to coalesce, tall and slender, clad in strange, iridescent armor. Its face was hidden behind a complex helmet, but Alistair could sense an intelligence, ancient and utterly alien, peering out from behind the visor. "Greetings, Alistair Fairbanks," the figure spoke, its voice a synthesized echo. "Your curiosity has disturbed a slumber best left undisturbed. Your actions have reactivated the beacon." Alistair braced himself, knowing instinctively that this was only the beginning. He had opened the door to a universe of unimaginable dangers, and he feared he had unwittingly invited a storm upon the world. The beacon was reactivated, and something was coming. Something far older, far more powerful than anything he could have ever imagined. The cyclical return had begun. He looked at Elena, a shared sense of dread etched on their faces. "What have we done?" he whispered, knowing the answer was far more terrifying than he could ever express.